In the morning on Fox Wilmington. Streaming live on foxwilmington.com.
Good morning and thanks for joining us for Carolina in the Morning on Fox Wilmington. I'm Caitlin Stansel. And if you tuned into our sister station WECT, Gannon Medwick has been saying it all morning. Not quite as cold as yesterday, but there's still a slight chance of some frozen precipitation, and it's prompted some school delays this morning. Just to give you a heads up on these, Brunswick County schools will be on a 1-hour delay. This is for the students. Staff will report to school on time, though. There's also a 2-hour delay for students and staff at Duplin County schools and only the Union District of Sampson County schools. All other school systems reporting this morning that they will report to class as scheduled. We have the list on our website, foxwilmington.com. And if we get any updates into our newsroom, we will be sure to update that story as they come into our newsroom. Well, Gannon, as you mentioned, not as cold as yesterday. I experienced that cold weather firsthand.
Yeah, you were out there a little more than I was as well. I did some live hits out there yesterday.
For the second time in less than 2 weeks, a mobile classroom caught on fire in Onslow County. Crews put out a fire at a science lab at Sandridge Elementary School. You see a picture there. No students were in the classroom at the time, thankfully. A crew was replacing an air filter when they saw smoke and flames. On New Year's Eve, though, a fire destroyed a mobile home classroom at Dixon Elementary School there in Sneads Ferry. Well, as we said, New Hanover County schools will be reporting to class on time this morning, just like Thursday, and many taking to Twitter this morning to express their disappointment. The school system said some of Thursday's tweets were funny, but others directed profane and disrespectful language to the New Hanover County Schools account. Their response to the tweets was a warning telling students to be careful because what they say could affect their future. School system spokesman Valita Quattlebaum says future employees in colleges check student social media sites. Well, Duke Energy asking you to conserve energy during these frigid times. The company says this is just a precaution, though. They sent a press release earlier asking customers to cut back in anticipation for Thursday being the coldest day of the year. They asked for people to cut back on some non-essential power use, unplug electronics that weren't being used, and turn down the heat just a bit. They say it is a request that's rare, and they just want to make sure the demand would not exceed the supply. Police doing their part to help those who may not have a warm place to take shelter. The Wilmington Police Department's downtown task force handing out some warm blankets to homeless men and women. Some officers even made some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to pass out while on patrol. Police say the downtown task force is all about community policing and making sure everyone is safe and looked after.
We're a part of the community, so we have to help take care of the community, but we got to be a part of the community as well. It's a community effort all the way around to take care of not only our structures, our historical districts, and the people that reside in there, but some of our population that is a little bit more transient, some that come in that are homeless or that need things. It's our job as well as a community and the police department being a strong part of that community to help provide and take care of them as well.
They've made an extra effort this week to hand out some care packages with socks, blankets, toothbrushes, and much more. Some are put together by local organizations and even the police themselves. So far, they've given everyone they've met something to help them stay warm. Well, condo owners in the marshes at River's Edge remember a similar cold spell last year when pipes burst and flooded their homes. The Homeowners Association there drained the sprinkler pipes this year to hopefully prevent a similar problem. Community Association Management Services got the okay from the fire department to hire a guard until that water is turned on again. Battalion Chief Sammy Flowers says this is the first time he's ever had a property manager approach him about this.
This is the first time that I know of. I've been in the fire marshal's office for going on 4 years, and this is the first request we've had from an apartment association to do this.
Now, Flowers says if they didn't turn off the water, other pipes could have burst, causing even more time without the sprinklers because of the damage. Well, this is a cool story happening tomorrow. A bald eagle will be released at the Cape Fear Raptor Center in Rocky Point. Yang Chen is scheduled to fly off Saturday morning around 8:30. You see him here in this video. You can watch a release for free. It's set to take place across the street from the Raptor Center on Highway 117 South. Happening today as well, the Centers for Disease Control will update the nation on this year's flu season. We've learned 54 people across our state have died from the flu, 7 of them right here in New Hanover County and 1 in Pender. That's according to state health officials, many of those victims being children and elderly adults. Health experts say the best way to prevent the virus is to stay up to date on your flu vaccine. Well, time now to check in with Gannon Medwick for a look at your forecast and some temperatures maybe going into the 40s.
Hey,
I don't know why, but that's exciting news, right?
I know why, because we only got to 31 yesterday, Caitlin. I know you're a warm weather fan, and so I'm not going to try to sell you on the fact that like 40s are warm or anything like that, but relatively speaking to you.
Well, Bob, no doubt about it, it is cold outside and the frigid weather has been sweeping the country. As the temperature drops, though, the risk of frostbite rises. It can happen within a matter of minutes, but Garrett Hockey tells us about a breakthrough treatment for frostbite victims that can save limbs. Frostbite is most common on the fingers, toes, nose, ears, cheeks, and chin. And symptoms include a prickling feeling at first and then numbness and a white or waxy looking skin. To prevent injury by limiting time outdoors, dressing in layers, and making sure that you cover up all exposed skin. Well, folks in eastern Iowa are under a blizzard warning. They should probably take some of those cues from that frostbite story there. Wind chills dropping to 20 degrees below zero. Strong winds and snow showers forcing the Department of Transportation to shut down a major highway because the driving conditions are just so treacherous. It was just too tough for those drivers to see. And take a look at this cool video from Charleston, South Carolina. A fountain became partially frozen during the chilly weather. You can see a long icicle there on the right-hand side. Temperatures at times were in the low 20s. Well, time now to check in with meteorologist Gannon Medwick, who again says it's warming up a little bit, but not too much, right?
Yeah, well,
state leaders are going to the U.S. Supreme Court asking for an appeal to the ruling that legalized same-sex marriage right here in our state. Senate Leader Phil Berger and predicted House Leader Tim Moore plan to ask the high courts on this case. In October, federal judges ruled the amendment banning same-sex marriage was unconstitutional. This after the Supreme Court refused to hear a case overturning a similar ban in Virginia. Well, North Carolina Senator Richard Burr is the new chairman of the United States Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. Burr was a member of the Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence while he worked in the House, becoming a member of the Senate Committee back in 2007. He says he's honored to take on the role and hopes to conduct a, quote, vigorous oversight over the intelligence activities of our government. Happening today in Washington, the House of Representatives votes on a bill that would force President Obama to approve the Keystone XL pipeline. The bill expected to pass and go on to the GOP-controlled Senate, but it's facing a certain veto from President Obama. So why are lawmakers going through the motions? Well, political experts say this exercise says a lot about the new Congress and foreshadows the battle lines being drawn on each side of Pennsylvania Avenue. Time now to check in with Gannon Medwick for another look at your forecast. Good morning, I'm Caitlin Stansel. It is 7:26. Chilly temperatures here in Wilmington yet again. We're going to have this morning's headlines in just a minute and first alert weather. But first, let's check in with Caroline Waldrop for a look at your first alert traffic.
Thanks, Kate.
Well, because of those chilly temperatures, some school delays and closings to tell you about this morning, starting with Duplin County. They are closed today. In Union County, in the Union District of Sampson County, those schools will be operating on a 2-hour delay. Brunswick County schools will be on a 1-hour delay this morning as well. This is for students. Staff, though, expected to report to class on time. All other school systems reporting that school will run as scheduled. We have those details on our website, wect.com. Happening today, the Centers for Disease Control will update the nation on this year's flu season. We've learned 54 people across our state have died from the virus, 7 of them right here in New Hanover County and 1 in Pender County. Well, your news continues now on Fox Wilmington, and the Today Show continues on WECT. Good morning, and thanks for joining us for Caroline in the Morning on Fox Wilmington. Just after 7:30 here, we have some school delays and closings to tell you about. Just into our newsroom, Duplin County schools will be closed today, and only the Union District of Sampson County schools will be operating on a 2-hour delay. We also have word from Brunswick County that they will be on a 1-hour delay this morning. This is for students only. Staff is expected to report to class on time. All other school systems reporting that it is a normal school schedule today. We have this list on our website, foxwilmington.com. And as soon as we have any updates on those delays, we will be sure to update that web story. For now, though, let's head over to meteorologist Gannon Medwick for a look at those temperatures.
Yeah, the temperatures are...
North Carolina's grading system will undergo some changes, and now parents, your high school students will have a better chance at some higher grades next school year. The State Board of Education approved a plan to change the current 7-point grading scale into a 10-point scale. So what that means, when your child gets a 90 on an assignment, they'll now get an A. The school board approved the change for incoming high school freshmen this fall. Now all students will follow the new scale. UNC Wilmington has a new chief diversity officer, a first for the university. They announced Kent Guyon will be taking the position in April. He currently works at Georgia Regents University as the vice president for diversity and inclusion there. University leaders say Dr. Guyon will bring new insight and perspectives to the school. Some good news could be in the future for those of you who are taking classes at Cape Fear Community College. The White House announcing a proposal to make community college free for everybody willing to work for it. It's part of what the president plans to propose in the State of the Union address later this month. Administration officials provided really no details about the program's cost or where that money would be coming from, but they are expected to have a formal announcement to be made today in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Put simply, what I'd like to do is to see the first 2 years of community college free for everybody who's willing to work for it. That's right, free for everybody who's willing to work for it. It's something that we can accomplish, and it's something that'll train our workforce so that we can compete with anybody in the world.
Officials say the funding details would come out later with the president's budget. Officials right now awaiting an autopsy after a missing persons case in Columbus County turned into a murder investigation. Victor Mitchell of Cerro Gordo was reported missing Monday night, and detectives later found his body hidden in a storage room at his home on Highway 242 North. Investigators believe he was shot, but police are waiting for an autopsy report to release any more details. They do consider Mitchell's girlfriend a person of interest. A driver now facing more serious charges after a man she is accused of hitting with her vehicle passed away. Susan Tumidaj is now charged with death by motor vehicle. Police investigators say Tumidaj turned onto Market Street from North 3rd and hit Albert Cox, who was driving a moped. Police say she left the scene, but officers later found her at Greenfield Park. She's also charged with DWI and hit and run. In Brunswick County this morning, officials need your help to find the man you see right here on your screen, Shannon Fowler. He's charged with breaking and entering and larceny after authorities say he broke into a home on Ash Little River Road. He reportedly frequents the Ash and Longwood areas as well as Ocean Isle Beach. If you have any information, you're asked to call authorities. Also out of Brunswick County, this man you see here, Grover Springs, accused of robbing a bank earlier this week in Calabash. Well, he's now charged with another bank robbery, this time in Charlotte. That one happened in September. Springs also charged with second-degree kidnapping and several counts of common law robbery. We know this morning that a man accused of robbing a pharmacy in Wilmington will be in court today. Jason Stash facing a list of felony charges for robbing a Rite Aid pharmacy on Shipyard Boulevard Thursday morning. Police caught Stash less than an hour later at his home on Longleaf Hills Drive. This is video of that Rite Aid, the scene of the crime there. Stash now been charged with 6 counts of robbery with a dangerous weapon. Officials say that Stash is also a suspect accused of robbing 6 different pharmacies since April 2014. Well, the deadly Paris attack has prompted some extra security, but no threats here in the United States. Tracy Potts has the latest on the investigation and its impact here in our country. Well, chilly temperatures causing a few treacherous conditions in some of our northern parts of our counties.
That's it. It's really the addition of moisture overnight that's the problem. I mean, think about it. We were way below freezing yesterday morning. We didn't get above freezing at any point yesterday afternoons. Road surfaces are cold, still cold this morning. You add a little bit of moisture. That's all it takes for some problems. Show the satellite and radar, and mercifully, Caitlin, we're not looking at a widespread area of precipitation. Far from it. It's just been some patchy little splotches of green and pink. You almost have to get out your magnifying glass to see them because they move over an area and they're gone. But while they're there, they're able to deposit enough moisture for some ice on roads. It's not a widespread thing, thankfully, but it is enough of a thing that about 10 to 20% of southeastern North Carolina is icy this morning. And if your travels take you on a road that looks dry and you're driving along fine, if you get this sense that there's a little bit of moisture, treat it as if it's ice if you run into that. And certainly northern Pender, Duplin, southeastern Bladen, that's been fitting that bill this morning. City of Wilmington so far, no icing reported. Partly sunny in 40s for this afternoon, mostly clear to partly cloudy and cold tonight. Tomorrow, chilly as well, but the balance of the 7-day forecast, I think we're able to shake off the chilliest weather, specifically on Monday. It's going to be likely raining, but upper 50s and lower 60s will do it for highs. Here at 7:52, once again, we're teetering near or just below the freezing mark. In Wilmington, 31. Oak Island, 32. Whiteville has 30. Elizabethtown, 30. Kenansville, Duplin County, probably the most hard-hit county overall in terms of icing this morning. Northern Pender and portions of Sampson by extension as well. But you're in the 20s, so we need to be careful there. But the silver lining of all this, Caitlin, and you know it because you were reporting in it yesterday morning, is that ripping wind that is moved on. So our feels-like temperatures or our wind chills are not much below the air temperatures. So not much extra insult to injury as far as the wind chill goes this morning.
The silver lining there.
We need that silver lining, and later today there'll be a golden lining of golden sunshine mixing with the clouds for the afternoon. Again, it's going to get our temperatures in the 40s this afternoon, so we'll feel good about that.
And we also have a number of delays and closings for schools. We know Duplin County schools are closed, Pender County on a 2-hour delay, as well as Union District of Sampson County, and Brunswick County schools on a 1-hour delay. If you missed those on air, go to our website, foxwilmington.com.